Okay, so the Warner's Pond Task Force meeting is starting. It is now 6:34. And so I'll take a roll call. Since I don't have the list of everyone in front of me, why don't we just go through? I'll start with myself. Chris Denaro is here.
Malcolm Bryant.
Malcolm Bryant.
David Owen.
Liz Morrison Howe.
Jeff Collins is here.
Okay,
And Mark Howell. And Bill Cremeza.
okay,
Delia Kay.
perfect.
Hmm.
Okay. The first order of business is, so the minutes of May 22nd meeting minutes were just sent out today. I don't know if anybody had a chance to review them, go through them. If so, I would love to vote on agreeing to those minutes of the meetings. Any comments about it?
Chris, I sent one small edit to Toby.
Okay,
And it's in the kind of the last paragraph when it got to the voting. It said Jeff requested that we use the can live with, cannot live with language. I actually don't remember that, and I've always felt that language is a little wonky. I preferred the yes no, but I just asked Toby to delete that. If anyone remembers me saying that, if you think it's material, want to keep it, I suppose I'd have to live with that, but I asked Toby to delete that. So I vote for approving the minutes with that amendment, unless others have a problem.
okay, I guess we could look at the video to see what's what, just to verify if you'd like, if you prefer.
I
Yeah,
do
Toby.
remember Sven saying it at the following meeting, but not, I don't remember it at the May 22nd meeting.
So could we approve them with the
As
caveat?
amended.
Yeah,
So if that sentence is struck, if anybody has any issues with that, then it should be discussed here, but if everybody is comfortable with that approach, then you can approve them as amended.
Okay, I move that we approve them as amended.
I second.
perfect. Okay, so the
You want to vote? Yeah.
Yes, with vote. I'll call everyone's name. Bill Cameza,
Aye.
Malcolm Bryant,
Aye.
Liz Morrison Howe,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
David,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
and Chris, aye. So it's unanimous. So the minutes of the May 22nd, 2025 meeting minutes as per amended have been approved unanimously.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So the next item on our agenda is to discuss the open meeting law complaint dated June 7th, 2025, filed by Paul McCone, and we need to identify a course of corrective action. So we need to identify, or it's identifying a number of meeting minutes that are missing. So we have actually gone through all that. We've notified many of you whether something was missing or not. So now we have a spreadsheet that we would just like to go through to make sure. So all the open issues, we'd just like to make sure they're assigned to whatever group, whatever person needs to do them, so that we know from this meeting who is going to proceed with that task. Any questions about that?
No.
Good. Okay. So
So I will just point out, if there is less than a quorum present, so the meetings in question are for the subcommittee meetings. We have the consultant finalizing the minutes from the June 12th meeting, and I'll take care of the June 23rd meeting. The outstanding minutes are really from the subcommittees, the site visits, and I'm looking for guidance on whether or not we need to provide minutes for public forum, which we have never done before. So I've I'm looking for guidance, on that. If at any of these meetings, there is less than a quorum present of that subcommittee, so for example, Chris, at our dredging subgroup, we had you, Paul, and, Keith were the voting members. So
Correct.
there needed to be at least two of that group present in
Mhm.
order for there to be a quorum. If there's less than, and minutes had to reflect votes taken and everything else. If there is less than a quorum present at these meetings, these subgroup meetings, then you need to just note that there is no quorum present and provide, you know, really a very general description of what was discussed. But no votes would be called because there's less than a quorum. And it's really just a statement that less than a quorum was present for those minutes.
Okay, so Delia, I appreciate that you have broken this down into all the different areas. But if you don't mind, I would like to just go through all
Yeah.
the meetings to see, so that if it applies to dam removal or dredging or the alternative no action group, we'll just deal with it, because also some items have been sent in, so I'd like to know who's gonna send that to the town clerk, you know, just to follow through on all of these outstanding issues. Does
Good.
that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, that's a good way of presenting. Yep.
Okay.
So you're gonna do
So
this, Chris, you're gonna do this chronologically from the
I
top?
am. So Julia, if you want to bring up your spreadsheet, I'm just going to go through just what you have on your spreadsheet, if you don't mind.
Okay, yep, no problem. So, where I was, this one.
Well, let's see.
So what I did was I took all the
April's-
minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
Starting like with April, so we just approved May 22nd. April 16th, those have been sent to the town clerk, correct, on 6/11?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you start, Chris, let me ask a question.
Yes.
Looking at Paul McCone's list, am I wrong? Did he start with 5/4/2024?
Did he start with 5/4/24?
Yeah, that was a site visit.
Yeah, in fact, there's 3 site visits. I put down all the ones he had listed. Everything he had listed. And the first one was 5/4/24. That's a site visit, right?
That was the scout
Yes.
crossover event.
Right.
Oh, Scout crossover event, huh?
That, what would be helpful to understand from that is who attended that site, that scout crossover ceremony. So it was David. I know Vicky had been there.
Malcolm,
I was there.
Yeah.
Jeff was there.
yeah, I was there.
I was not there.
Keith was.
I'm sorry. I've got David, Vicky, Malcolm, Jeff, no Mark. Liz, did you say that you were there?
No, I was not.
Keith was there. I was there. Chris.
Okay, so there was a quorum, so 1, 3. Yeah, so there was a quorum at that one, so the minutes do need to be drafted.
Could it be as simple as saying, on the 4th of May, a crossover event was held with the Boy Scouts to Scout Island, and members of the task force attended the event?
You would want to list the members that were present. You would want to give the start and stop time. But I think it can be
David,
as,
do you remember the start and stop time of that?
I can
No.
find the start time for sure, because they were very strict about it. So
Okay.
I'll look for that while we're here, and maybe others can estimate how long we spent.
Yeah, I think we left after the boys crossed over. That was probably, I think, 6 or 7, 6 o'clock. I guess it depends on when we started, because I remember it was cold.
so, yeah, so if you can work to get those?
Yeah, I'll have it during this meeting.
Okay.
I will
Okay.
have the info shortly here.
Perfect.
And
And
then
so-
the next site visit was June 15th, and I know that some members attended that one and others attended the June 22nd. I remember that I couldn't make the first, but I could make the seconds. Do people, let's just stick in order. Do people remember the June 15th?
So I know that I was there. I know that Jeff was there, and I know that Keith was there because Keith and Jeff led it. Mark was there.
Yeah,
Um,
this was the walk around the pond.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
right. The June 15th and 22nd were both meetings that were both walking around the ponds.
right.
And at the June 22nd, I attended that one with, Chris, you were there.
Yeah.
Jeff was there, Malcolm was there.
I'm pretty sure that Paul went to the one on the 15th because I
Oh, that's right.
was walking with him.
That's right. He was there.
Yeah,
So,
Was at the second one, Jeff, do you remember?
I was at the second one also. Vicky was at that one.
Vicky was at that one, yeah.
And then also Jeff, wasn't there someone from Oars that like one of your interns came to that one? I don't know if you remember her name.
Yeah, I remember that. She was, she
Yeah.
had sat in on some meetings.
Oh, it was a young woman who was an ambassador for the River Stewardship Council.
Okay.
So
Do we need to
I mean-
include her?
no, you don't need to
Yeah.
include her though, do you? Not really, because this is just our, it's
member of
about,
the public, yeah, because it was
Yeah.
open.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
If we
yeah.
can.
Like,
Do you remember her name, Jeff?
I don't, but I'll ask Elise Brown.
And
Okay.
Keith was also at that one.
Okay.
Keith was too.
Carlin
so-
Reed was at one of them too.
Who was?
Carlin Reed, I think she
Oh.
was
Yeah.
at the June 22nd one.
Don't recall her being.
Carlin, are you there? I think I saw your name. Which one were you at?
I'm checking my calendar now.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is no fun. I understand that, but I appreciate you folks doing this. Let's see, you had a forum on the 20th of June at Harvey Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right,
think I attended that, but it was the time when Keith gave tours in the kayak.
you did that both times.
No, it's the first. If I was there for the first time, that's the only time I've been there.
Yeah, I don't remember you being there when I was there.
Okay, well, that solved that problem.
Okay.
Yep.
So have you taken notes? It looks to me like, you have, you're right, Delia, for the 5:15 visit, you have Jeff, Keith, Mark, Chris, and Paul. That's 5. There may have been somebody else from the committee too, I don't know. And then on 6:22, you have Malcolm, Liz, Vicky, Chris, and Keith, and you, Delia. That's another 5.
There's
6,
There's 6 for that.
but in terms of a
7.
quorum, who's 7th?
Chris, Keith, Jeff, that's 3. Delia, Liz, Vicky, that's 6, and Malcolm.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have 6 voting members.
6 voting members.
David, go ahead.
Yeah, that is regarding the crossover.
Yep.
It was at 4 p.m.
Okay,
and Delia, Bill, and Chris, I have sent you a link to a document of who registered to be
Oh,
there.
great,
I got
Great.
that
Great.
great.
original document. It's in your email.
perfect. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
And again, I think the next two, a simplest comment about a walk around the pond was conducted by members of the task force.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so where are
actually,
we now?
I actually took a couple of pictures on the 15th one, and I definitely see Paul. I also see the back of Alyssa Brown's head, but I think maybe Sven was there too. I can't tell.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, good.
That's
Could I-
right. Going.
But beyond that, I don't have much in the picture that's
Let me
recognized.
chime in. I don't remember this specifically, but if it was a young woman I think wouldn't have been Orr's minutes, said the River Stewardship Council ambassador, that would be Ellie Sabla.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
LLISABLAK.
Did anyone get that?
Yep. Yep. Thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
So
Alright,
what meeting are we on now? This is gonna be a long night if we don't move along. Where are we? 7?
So I think let's just go to the last site visit, which was Giroux in October, October 5th.
Yeah,
That was
Um,
canceled.
who-
That was canceled.
that's what I thought. Okay, good.
great.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think what we need to do for the remainder of the minutes. So Chris, thank you. You've offered to write up for the site visits. Is that right? Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So, do you want to go through the missing meetings then? So.
Yeah, if you would run down, Chris, as you said before, we were
Okay.
at 7:23 is the next.
Yep. 723, that's the dam removal that needs to be written and submitted.
That was written at the time. We submitted it to the wrong person, and we sorted it out today, and I submitted it to Laurie.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice going.
Good going.
Okay. Done. All right. And then the July 31st, Mark, you sent those in. And so Delia,
Those are done and posted on the website.
Yep.
perfect. Okay. And then we know that August 13th, those 3 meetings were part of the full task force meeting. So nobody needs to do anything for those.
Good.
Then we had August 28th. No action needs to be written and submitted.
Yeah, we don't have a recording of that. I have some brief notes that I took from that meeting.
Okay,
I could try to write those up.
I think
Okay.
brief notes would be great, Mark, if you would do that. Yeah,
What's the
Perfect.
date?
August
28th,
28th.
24.
28th.
I'm
Yeah, August 28th.
say again. August 28, 24.
Yes. Okay,
And again, just remember that if a quorum was not present, the minutes are very brief.
Yeah, so what I'd appreciate from Bill and David is if they can help me recall whether they actually made it to that meeting.
Yeah. that's a
I
good
did
question.
not note the attendance in my notes.
All right.
all right. September 10, that was for part of the full task force meeting, so nothing needs to be done. September
Yeah.
12th, I have for the no action again.
Yeah,
That
this
needs
is
to be written and
one
submitted.
that I don't have any records on, and I don't know if either of my other 2 members who are here do.
No. Let me see. Is there any chance that Delia, that Bert has these?
So I sent you everything that we have on the network, and there were drafts that let me just see. Let's see what I think I sent to you. Where things were in terms of. So September 12th. No notes on that one.
All right, we'll try to reconstruct. I don't know. what
As
we would
best
do.
you can, use the agenda
Yeah.
to develop.
Right.
And that was
And
Bruce Leischer was optional on the invite for that meeting. Does anybody remember who Bruce is?
yeah, Bruce is the head of Bear Hill Pond, the chair of the Bear Hill Pond committee out in Harvard.
Well, Bill, I guess that's yours to write up.
Thanks. I should have kept my, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I'll write that up.
Well, I remember so we had been originally, I think, going to meet with them on the 10th because I have a canceled event for that day.
That's right.
And then I think we pushed it back 2 days. But you know what, Bill? I feel like that was you and I, and maybe David wasn't there.
I think the same thing. I think you're right.
All right.
So I'd be happy to do that one.
Okay.
Okay,
Forced into that. And then another missing one was September 26th, but that was also part of the full task force meeting. No worries
I have
there.
one for September. I'm sorry, never mind.
Okay. Then I have, so there's something here. It says October 21. But it says move, so that's irrelevant. Okay, October 22nd,
Mhm.
no action.
Yeah,
So what's the date? September 22nd?
October 22nd.
October 22nd.
October 22nd. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a meeting planned at noontime.
Yeah, again, I don't seem to have any notes on this one.
Neither do I. David, you anything on this one?
No, I was just reporting that I found a document that regarding August 28th, 2024 from Ann Clifford to us. So I'm going to forward that to you.
Oh, so is that her her version? That might have been the meeting that she went over because I remember that we were passing the proposal around, and I think we asked her to take one revision. So that was probably the one that she did that.
That's correct.
Okay.
Are you saying you don't need it?
Oh, I need it.
Okay.
'Cause I have comments. I know Dan Stapleton addressed us, and I took some notes on what he had to say.
Oh, that's right. Dan Stapleton addressed us. Yeah.
And I don't know that I attended that day. I may have. It was my birthday, so I might have played birthday.
All right. Well, you know, it only takes two of us to be a quorum for that particular group. I have some comments on what Alyssa Brown said as well, so I can clean those up and
Right, but that would imply that Diane attended because she said, here it is, see you soon.
okay, good. That Ann attended, you mean?
Excuse
yeah.
me, Anne.
Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah, if you can just forward that,
It's on its way.
yeah.
That's the 1020. That's the 1020.
8/28.
828.
Okay.
oh, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah,
10:22.
no.
Sorry.
We still haven't been able to reconstruct what that was about yet.
So which one are we looking for clues on?
1022.
Too.
10/22. Let me see what I can find.
Okay, so should we move on for that right now, or?
Yeah,
So we're
So
David, I'm putting your name down.
for an action plan, why don't we agree that the three of us will meet as the short-term actions subcommittee? Hopefully, we can talk about when, but maybe Friday, and we'll just go through and fix those three meetings.
okay.
That makes sense.
Yep. We'll have to post it and all that in advance.
Yeah, we'll have to do that, but give ourselves a short deadline to finish this.
David, can we just resolve this right now? David, are you available on Friday?
What time?
We used to do noontime meetings. Is that a possibility for us?
Okay, hold. We're talking noon this Friday.
I'm just playing it out. Yeah, what do you think?
For how long?
For half an hour.
Is there? Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Can someone send an invite?
yeah.
Can you do that, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we get it posted? Mark, I don't know how to do it, but I'd be
Well, if
happy
you
to.
send it to me, I'll post it.
All right, that'd be great. Thank
Send
you.
it to Karen.
Send it to
Send it to
Karen.
NR at Concord MA and one of us, she'll post
All
it.
right.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll do-
awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, and,
And,
okay,
and what's the purpose of Friday's meeting?
Just to clean up these three meetings that we had,
approve the 3 missing meetings that we have.
which we'll
Because-
try to, I'm sorry.
Not to jump ahead, but I think that with the minutes that you just created for March 7, it shows that the 3 sets of minutes that were distributed but we didn't have that document that we'd approved them. We approved all of those on March 7th. So that basically means that all we have to do is post them.
Do
And
we need to meet then? If all we need to do is.
Well, we
Yeah,
need-
you have other outstanding minutes, so I
Yeah,
think that would be good if you
right.
guys met.
We need to
Oops.
approve the March 7, October 24th, September 12th, and August 28th minutes.
Correct.
Which, and the last 3 I mentioned have to be typed up, so that's why I'm suggesting that. And by the way, I sent you a quick edit for the March 7th ones.
Great.
Okay. All right, next one, October 24th. I just,
Wait, before you go, on my calendar, you still have the September 10th. What is that?
That was part of a larger meeting.
Oh,
Yeah.
September 10th is part of a larger meeting. Okay, I'm sorry.
so no worries there. You're
Okay,
covered,
good.
okay?
Yep.
October 24th, I wrote up those meetings.
Great.
And so I can send those to the town.
Thanks, Chris. And I'll
Okay?
take care of the March
If you're still
24th.
looking at the spreadsheet, you're not sharing that anymore, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you want me to share it?
Well.
Yeah.
might
Yeah, I have it, I'm sorry, I have it organized differently than what you're looking at, Chris. I'm sorry, let me, yeah. I'll share it.
Okay,
And I'm sorry, I'm a little
Okay.
bit, 1024 is a part of a large group. Is that what that was?
no, dredging meeting.
Oh, 1024 is dredging. Okay.
Yeah, and so is 320, well, yeah, 1024 is dredging, and I just wrote up those minutes and I'll send them to the town clerk.
Oh, good.
So the next one is December 3rd, which Mark, you supplied those on June 14th. So have those been sent to the town clerk, or do someone need to do that, or?
So I think
Which-
that,
I'm sorry, which which group is that?
December 3rd.
No action.
No action.
Oh, I think these guys are gonna talk on Friday. I think
Well,
we could
so-
probably
yeah.
table these ones.
Well, so what we saw was, kind of working backwards on this list. David just completed a review of the recording that you came up with for the March 7th meeting. And in that recording, he observed that we approved 3 sets of minutes on March 7th. And those 3 sets of minutes were December 3rd, December 11th, and January 14th. So apparently those 3 sets were not sent in to the town clerk. So if they've been distributed, so all we need to do is someone needs to send those 3 to the town clerk to get those 3 posted, because they were approved on March 7th, and we still have to approve the March 7th set that was just created.
So will you guys do
So
that?
before, I actually didn't have a chance to respond to that. I saw that just a little bit ago. There was not actually a quorum of your voting members at that March 7th meeting, so you can't approve the minutes. So if you can approve those when you meet on Friday,
So
and then,
there's only three voting members, so 2 would be a quorum.
oh, is it only
Yeah,
three?
yeah, only 3.
Okay, so Mark, Bill, David, and that was it.
That's
Okay,
Yeah, because then we had Bert and Ann, but they're not.
okay, you're right. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
So I'd be happy to send these in if I know how to do it. Where do I?
meetings at concordma.gov.
Meetings at Concord.ma.gov. Okay. I'll take care of sending those 3 in.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
wait, 11, okay, so
So
these
just
three are,
before you leave this screen though, did we decide who's drafting October 22nd yet?
I think you guys are gonna talk about that when you meet on Friday.
I'm hoping to have them drafted, so we're approving them.
Okay,
And do we have the recording?
no,
No,
Zoom only keeps recordings for 90 days. And
Yeah.
then they live in the trash, which is where I found the 3-7 minutes, but those minutes in the trash only last for another 30 days, so.
it just, we were largely depending on Bert to draft minutes for these meetings, which is why we're kind of a little stuck. But is there any way to like review his, his machine or something and see whether these might
There you
exist
go.
in draft on his machine?
That's
Or
a,
notebook?
I sent you everything that he had drafted, so there are the draft minutes that are probably the 12, 3, 11, and 14.
So maybe it
And
was.
then there were notes on another set, so there you have 3
Okay,
sets of draft minutes and 1 set of notes. And
yeah,
I sent that to you guys over the weekend, and I can look it up right now, which those were.
yeah, which I'm wondering what notes they were. They might have been a later meeting.
Right, so I sent you, let's see. Draft minutes from 12/3, 12/11, and January 14th, 2025.
Yeah,
And
Those-
draft minute or notes from 3/7. So I don't have anything
okay,
from August 28th, September 12th, or September 22nd.
okay, that matches what I had kind of concluded when I looked at this back on the 14th. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of digging. So I guess the
Yes.
same thing. I'll ask Bill and David to check their notes and see if they can come up with anything for the 22nd
Sure.
22nd of what month?
October.
No, I don't have anything. I've already looked.
I'll look further. I don't know if I have any papers on it.
All right. If not, I'll take a stab at it from the agenda.
All right.
okay. We good?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. That's all good conversation, good discussion. Okay. And so we already talked about December 11, December 17th. So that was approved during the January 16th, 2025 meeting. Those minutes. Those were the
I'm
whole-
sorry, which group?
it's the whole task force.
Okay,
December 17th.
yep, so all the task force minutes have been submitted with the exception of the May 22nd,
Right. So
June
you-
12th, and tonight's meeting.
Okay, so you took care of that. Perfect. All right. So I guess now we're on to 2025.
Uh,
Given-
yeah.
discuss.
I have 2 dam removal from 2024, October.
Okay, so October 21st was postponed to the 22nd. So that meeting, the 21st didn't happen. The 22nd, the minutes have been submitted and posted.
Right.
Great,
It actually says that on the website too, so that's good.
awesome. And what about the 11th, Malcolm,
The 11th,
of December?
I'm pretty sure I sorted it.
It was
Yeah,
postponed to December
11. Did we have one on the 11th? We met on the 16th.
You know what it says here, Malcolm? It says it was postponed to December 16th, and then the December 16th meetings, minutes are posted.
Yeah,
you're
they are posted. Yeah.
You're good.
Great.
Is that the one where the link, for some reason, the link wasn't working and we couldn't get members of the public on the call? So we postponed it to the 16th. And the
Okay,
minutes have been submitted and posted.
right.
That's awesome, okay. So dam removal just has one set.
We've submitted everything.
Okay, so the March 21st.
Let me just check. I think they're on the site.
Okay.
No,
I just pulled this together just really quickly
that's
this
fine.
afternoon.
March 24th, did you say?
I said March 21st.
didn't you say, Delia, that it says Warner's Pond Task Force, but you said it should be dam removal, correct?
Yes, so on the website, it lists it as a Warner's Pond Task Force, like full meeting agenda, but if you click on the agenda link, it is for a dam removal subcommittee meeting.
Right, let me just, sorry, I just need to check my emails to see what Laurie received. Oh, sorry, I'm being slow. There are no meetings that I'm aware of that we have not submitted. Let's see. As of July, she's got, no, that's the wrong one.
So why don't we move on to,
January 9th, February 26th.
while you're looking, Malcolm, let's look at the small group draft. I lumped these together in what I put together.
Yep.
And
So-
for some reason I have two January 25th. That's not right.
So there's
Okay.
a 22nd, Delia, maybe that's what it is, 22, 25, 29, and then February 6th.
So this is a January 22? Is that right?
Yeah.
January 22, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so on the January 22, Rachel sent them to me, so I just need to send them to the town clerk. Okay. And the same with January 25th. And the same with February 6th. And unfortunately, and then Rachel said she was looking for the January 29th meeting, because she had attended those meetings and she had said to
Yeah.
us that she was gonna take the minutes. So that's the only one missing is January 29th. She said she was gonna look for them in her notes.
So what I had understood from the consultant was that they had taken notes, but they had said that the group was supposed to draft the minutes. Is that not accurate?
It's not what I recall.
No,
Bill, do you recall, or Jeff?
I I don't recall. No, I don't recall it, to be honest. I don't recall it.
I don't either.
I do remember one time Rachel saying, "You guys are lucky because I'm taking the notes or the notes for the meeting," whether it meant notes or minutes. And she did send me 3 sets, Delia.
Okay.
Huh.
Were they minutes or notes?
I believe they were minutes. I will look them up from her.
And then what about the 129 and 220?
So they are minutes of the meeting that she sent to me.
The 129 and 220?
She sent to 122, she sent 125
Yep.
and February 6th.
Okay.
We don't have January 29th,
What was January 29? Who, what?
small group.
So, okay, so you're confirming that you received minutes, Chris,
Correct.
for those 3? Okay,
Three out of the 4 meetings. I
3
just
out of
have-
the 5.
What's the fifth one? Oh, here it is, February
20.
20th. Yeah, I don't have anything on that either.
Okay. Do you want to follow up with her to get the remainder for these two meetings, the January 29th and the February?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just sent, and I'll send the other ones to be posted to the,
Perfect. Awesome.
okay.
So I think we're in really good shape. Thank you again, Chris, for doing these ones. Malcolm, were you able to find this March 21st?
Well, I can find that I don't even recall that meeting, to be honest. I see the subcommittee agenda.
I went
Yeah,
through,
it would have been on the, sorry. Sorry,
went
Liz, go ahead.
no, I went through some of our emails because I also didn't have it on my calendar, but it looks like we did meet then. And we just I think we looked at the posters that we were putting together for the public forum.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It would have been because the forum was in the beginning of April.
Yeah. But that's all I have. So I don't know if maybe Vicky took the minutes. I know I did not sign up for any minutes because I was woefully late with all my PTG minutes, so I did not. I would not be a good person to take on minutes here. But if you or Jeff didn't, maybe Vic, because I don't think that Sven was at that meeting. I think only Vicky was.
Right. I have no recollection of who was taking minutes from that. Yes, I do remember it now. Well, it's easy enough to put those together if nobody has them. One way or another, we will get them to you in the next 48 hours.
So Malcolm, I'll put your.
I'll get them
down.
to Laurie, and they'll be posted.
Perfect.
So I actually we should talk about this in terms of a timeline. I asked the town clerk's office what sort of time frame. I asked if a 2-week time frame to respond and provide all the outstanding minutes was reasonable, and they said that it was.
Good.
So I think we have a little bit more time than 48 hours. I think sooner is better. But I think for the purpose of the meeting tonight and identifying that course of remedial action, 2 weeks would be okay. If we said that we would have every set of outstanding minutes submitted to the town clerk's office by July 7th. I think that's acceptable.
Sounds good.
Works for me.
That's great.
Okay.
So as I'm understanding it, it sort of sounds like each subcommittee is going to work directly as we have been throughout this process in getting the minutes for each of the subgroups submitted to the town clerk's office.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's great.
Yeah,
Good.
We have any more minutes to go over, or we
No, we don't. We approved this one and so just who is following up then on the June 12th full task force meeting minutes? Is that you?
Well, I mean, I think you and Bill and I have all reached out to the consultant to get those. So, they said it's going to be imminent. So I think, following what Kari had said and if this group is comfortable, we'll just take what they've submitted and, what they send and submit that to the town clerk's office.
Yeah, we don't have to have them approved. That's what we thought. That's what the town
Right.
clerk told us
Right.
before. We'll just
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
before this meeting, that was the last meeting of the task force.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So I'm a little bit confused now. One more thing, and Delia, I hate to put anything on you. I'll call Karen's office tomorrow and set up our meeting on Friday for our subgroup.
Well, if you just send her, I think Mark is gonna provide the link.
Oh,
and
yeah,
if you just
okay,
send the agenda to Karen, she'll post it.
okay. Mark, you gonna do that by sending the link at the same time?
I think I'd rather have a recording, so I'll send her a note and ask her to set up a Zoom on the town account.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the
She doesn't
town
have,
Zoom.
okay, so.
Okay, so tell me when you're setting it up for?
Noon for 30 minutes on Friday, the
7.
27th?
Yeah.
27th.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So what I'll do then, Mark, is I
Good.
will set it up right after we get off this call.
Okay.
And I'll send you the link
Send
to
me
it,
the
and then
link
you
and
can
I'll send
develop
the
the
invite out.
agenda.
Yeah.
And
And-
send that, if you can send that agenda to the town clerk.
right, I'll send the agenda in and
Perfect.
posting.
Thank you.
And
That's great.
can I just ask Delia, the March 21st meeting for the dam removal subcommittee was the final meeting?
Okay.
So do I circulate the minutes and ask for approval, or just?
Nope. Just send them to the town clerk.
I found my notes from that meeting, so
Right.
unless Liz
Good.
wants to do it. All
I
right.
still have a lot of PTG meetings together.
You guys were the best. The dam removal subgroup, I think, was the most
Malcolm had
on top of things.
a
Yeah,
conflict.
good job.
Yeah, it seems to me that the thing that I think all the groups had issues with was sort of the housekeeping for meetings that moved or got canceled,
Yeah,
made the situation look a little bit worse. So that's
Right.
I think that's
learning.
right. I think that's right. Well, yeah, I think this has been a really productive meeting, and we have a plan. I'll let the town clerk's office know that minutes for all outstanding meetings will be submitted by July 7th. And I think we're in good shape.
Great,
Thank you.
We just have one more item on our agenda.
yes.
The presentation before the Natural Resource Commission. Bill, do you wanna?
Sure. So you saw the copy of the letter that Chris and I prepared just to give out to the Natural Resources Commission. It's a simple letter. It just simply says, we'd like to make a presentation as soon as possible. Informally, I heard back from Sarah and Delia, they'd like to do it on July 16th. Gives them a chance to read over the reports. My sense is from about where we are is that Chris and I would make the major presentation, and that you're all invited to come to the meeting, and they'll ask questions to us about the report. So that's as far as I can see. Any other comments?
And
Yeah,
also
it was
just-
too quick. I mean, Sarah just felt like that NRC hadn't had,
Sure.
the report, and, they hadn't looked at the website in a while, and to have that presentation go to them at their meeting on Wednesday was just not enough time for them, so.
Nope, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. So,
Bill, I have
anything-
a question.
Yeah.
Or a question for the group. So, I mean, there's a kind of a formality, and I don't know if formality, but the presentation of that meeting and that being a time when NRC will going forward.
Jeff, you're breaking up a little bit.
yeah,
and
we
I
can't hear
think-
you, Jeff.
I think what you're asking is this a meeting where the commission would make a determination on how to move forward?
You must be back in Concord.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm in Concord of Southwest Vermont right now. How would the chair see it? And what is the role of doing that?
I can't
He
understand.
just dropped off.
Can't hear
Harding
you,
her.
can't hear you, Jeff.
He just dropped off.
All right.
My sense is from, I've seen other reports from other committees, the Mill Dam, or the Millbrook Committee, is the chairs usually come in and make a report based on, or they say, you have the document, here's the document. You might do a few highlights in the document. And then open up for questions. Isn't that correct, Delia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I would expect, is that there's a presentation made and the commission would ask questions. I wouldn't expect that any decision would be made at that meeting that the presentation is made. I think it's
Right.
more just a sort of fact-finding, information gathering kind of process, and then there'd be some deliberation after that would be.
Yeah.
what I would
So, do you have
expect.
any sense, Delia, of when we would get a response back from the NRC about that?
I would ask that at the meeting next week, or on July 16th. Because no, I don't.
I feel like I think I saw the letter and I don't recall this point, but I don't think it actually asks them to disband the task force.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It did not. It did not. Great,
Well,
great
the
point.
task force terms expire at the end of June. That was the extension of the
Right.
NRC was through the end of June.
Yeah, that's true.
So then it's just a good point to remind them that we will have officially stopped
Yes,
even before this presentation,
good
Right.
point.
unless they chose to resurrect it.
So we'll
So,
bring it up tomorrow at the meeting, Delia. Why don't we just say, I can just make a point reminding the committee, the NRC's meeting tomorrow. So we can say-
Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday, you're right. And I'll just say that, the committee will be disbanded at the end of the month, even though we'll be making the chairs will be there to make a presentation on July 16th. Good
Mhm.
point.
that's good. Okay, any other questions, comments, issues? Okay, so then, any public comments? Okay, then, this meeting will be adjourned at, 7:26.
And this will be the last meeting of the task force.
I was afraid to say that.